Hello, YouTube. You remember this upload? I uploaded this one August 24th, summer of 2021. And I mentioned in this video that I had been speaking about the BRICS nations versus the petrodollar. I've been speaking about that for over a decade. I believe I began speaking on that about 2011-ish, maybe 2010. Now, there were other men speaking about that many years before me. The point of this video is just now today, my father's freaking out about financial stuff, and he's basically freaking out about the end of the petrodollar, which I spoke of in this video. And in this video, I said I've been speaking about it since 2011 or earlier. In fact, in 2006, I was speaking about gold going to $2,500 an ounce. And if memory serves me correct, I think gold was, I'm pretty confident it was under 450 an ounce at the time. I want to say like 420, 430-ish is when I started speaking about gold going to 2,500, okay? Now, the only reason I'm saying these dates is because today my father's telling me as if I know nothing about this. And this isn't just about my father. This is just an example. This is real life for me. This is Groundhog's Day, okay? You know the movie Groundhog's Day with Bill Murray? That's listed as a fantasy movie. But ever since I first saw that movie, I didn't see it in the theater, but I saw it probably about as soon as it came out on VHS in 1993 or 1994. At 14, 15 years old, that movie, the first time I saw it, it was a horror movie. And right now you're like, what do you mean? That was a fantasy. I just love that movie. You think it was a fantasy because you wish you were intelligent enough to be able to fuck with people, right? And you don't understand who I am. I have no desire to fuck with people. I only have desire to help people, and I do have the ability to. However, I'm so hated by everybody who's like wants to be a leader. Remember, you gotta have vision to be a leader. I have no desire to be a leader. I just have desire to be on a winning team. Vision is my main gift. I'm Aquarius. I speak truths. And I am hated by all for it. But so just today, my father's telling me, he says something about how the petrodollar died, they just tied oil to the gold-backed ruble, and I'm like, yeah, I've been talking about this for 11 years now, BRICS nations. And okay, this isn't just about 11 years. This is just last week. He starts telling me about how India's now got to deal with Russia. India, he says, and Russia. And I said, okay, the I in BRICS is and always has been India. The R is Russia. So just last week I had to break this down for him. Now today, he's talking to me about how I need to know this. And now this isn't just about my father. This is about my whole life. No matter what I'm speaking about, I can speak about it every day, and always at a point, a later stage, measured in years. The people that I talk to, they come back to me and tell me what I need to know, as if that we have to do this act where they have to pretend that I never said these truths. And it gets really fucking old. Every aspect of my life back when I was driving Hondas, I bought my first Honda CRXSI in 1996. I got like laughed out of a parts store when I was trying to buy parts, like a computer chip and a K&N air filter for it. They're like, you can't make Hondas fast. 5 years later, I'm delivering pizzas in my second Honda CRX SI, and I would get stopped like all the time. They'd be like, dude, you need to know that your Honda can be modified to like make. I'm like, motherfucker, I got a good bullfrog camshaft under the hood of this bitch. You hear that thing idle? That ain't a normal fucking Honda idle. Struggled to fucking idle. That thing was badass. But tards then always had to tell me what I needed to know, and it's like, motherfucker. You guys, the same tards that used to laugh at me, now you want to be me, right? But, here we go. This video didn't get a lot of traction, but I mean, it caught some, most of my likes, most of my thumbs up all got removed too. And this one commenter, YouTube wouldn't allow these comments to even be shown, and now they started to do it. Saudi's oil to also be exchanged in rubles. The US dollar is no longer the exclusive. This chick gets it. Russia offers Saudi military protection. Yeah, what was it? It just made news, what was it, last month when Saudi Arabia, I think like about 3 weeks ago, Saudi Arabia was having talks with China right after Dementia Joe. Dementia Joe tried to give Saudi Arabia a call and be like, hey man, we need you to turn the oil up because I done fucked up. And Saudi Arabia refused. They refused to even take his call. They're like, fuck that dude, man. We talking to China now. And a lot of people are like, oh man, this is surprising. Is it surprising? Remember, the C in the BRICS nations is China. Everybody's like surprised by all this. Holy fuck. The forum that I'm on, like all these people like were surprised by all these deals. And it's like, holy shit. I would tell people, I'm like, all you have to do is a little search at the top. Just type in BRICS. And you'll find like 11 or 12 years worth of threads. Thread after thread after thread. And back 11 years ago, the BRICS nations were very clear what their goal was. They wanted to create a new gold-backed currency that would take out the petrodollar. That's hence my title here. Boil it into a nutshell for you. BRICS nations versus the petrodollar. These guys, they said, look, because, okay, these other nations that hold U.S. debt, like they buy bonds that they can trade in for U.S. currency at a later stage. And then we go print more dollars, devaluing each dollar, meaning fucking every single person or nation that holds our bonds. Do you think they're going to just like put up with that forever? Of course not. That's like, we've been doing some bad shit to the whole fucking world for basically my whole fucking life, right? People my age. This video is more intended to the people that knew me at one time. I don't talk to anybody anymore. Hopefully this video can help my father out a little bit and other people that knew me, because that's all I ever wanted to do. Remember, I said the movie Groundhog's Day with Bill Murray, first time I saw that, I was like, this is a fucking horror movie. Because I always had desire to help other people. But the thing is, I didn't just have desire, I had ability. I had vision, right? I'm the kid that they forced to be on the math team, right? And the math coach had to give me special instructions. Eric, when you finish first, you need to immediately put your head down, cover up your paper, and just take a nap. He said, the other coaches are going to accuse you of cheating. Now there's rules to math. You always reduce to simplest terms, so I'm going to break that statement down for you. When we're on teams of like 5 each, like the 5 smartest kids in math for each school, and we're competing against all the other schools in the whole city of Madison, and the math coach is confident that I'm going to finish first out of everybody in the whole city, and he's confident that the other coaches are going to accuse me of cheating. Why would they accuse me of cheating? Because my answers were average? No, they were going to accuse me of cheating because I got them all right. How is IQ measured again? Because I'm just saying this because I think a lot of people think that I'm either not that smart, maybe even they think I'm stupid, but they most definitely think I'm a little crazy. And at the very end of this video, I dropped a Stephen Hawking quote on you, then I'm going to have to drop again, okay? So again, how do you measure IQ? It's computing speed. It's the speed at which you can get the correct answer. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about money. Numbers. In 2000, it was clear to me the US dollar was going to fucking full-on collapse when George Bush gave his speech. I want to say like, it was like a week or two after the Twin Towers came down. 2001. When he gave that speech, I was like, holy fuck. He's going to collapse, like what he just told everybody to do. He came out and basically, I'll boil it in a nutshell for you, paraphrase it. He said, if you want to be a good American, you need to spend every dime of your paycheck. And he's like, on top of that, I'm working with the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates. He's like, I want you to take out loans to buy shit that you don't need with money that you don't have to impress other people that don't give a fuck about you. And I remember thinking, holy shit, everybody's going to look at that and be like, what the fuck did we just hear? And then as soon as I talked to everybody in the coming days, they're like, no, that's awesome, dude. Like, party on, Wayne. That was like my wake up. Like, not the Twin Towers coming down. It was the fact that, like, on that day, September 11th, I was pizza dude. I needed gas. There were lines out into the streets at the gas stations here in Madison. Nobody remembers that. Lines into the street. I remember saying, I'm not fucking waiting in line for gas. I'll come back here, like, late at night, because I work second shift anyways. Went back late at night, no lines. But all the regular pumps all had bags on them. The regular and mid-grade fuel was sold the fuck out. I had a little hot rod CRXSI that was already tuned up. It was tuned for 93, so it needed 93. And guess what? Every tank of 93 was still full. No lines. Like, okay, no problem. The next day, the gas was all back to normal again. But people forget that. September 11, 2001, every store in town sold out of bottled water. And there were lines into the street for gas. That was my wake-up call. I carried that the towers fell down. And I remember saying to my father, like, damn, we didn't see them firefighters come out of the buildings, did we? It turns out 343 of them got buried in that shit. I cared about that. But the biggie was 2 weeks later when George Bush gave that speech. You want to be a good American, you need to spend every dime in your paycheck and take out loans to buy shit you don't need with money you don't have to impress people that don't give a fuck about you. And everybody I saw was like refinancing their homes, and they weren't refinancing their homes to like better their position. No, they were buying like big ass fucking party boats and like taking vacations and shit. Buying shit they don't need with money they don't have to impress people that don't give a fuck. Groundhog's Day, right? Imagine having the ability to help other people. Another example, I'm still going to continue. Remember I did the video where I said teaching men to fish, and I said part 1, I showed you the credentials, the photographs of me holding fish that can fit my entire face in their mouth. And I said, that's my fish. That's how strong my fishing game is. I don't take a photograph of a fish unless it can fit my entire face in its fucking mouth. Okay, and I showed you guys a whole stack of those photos I got. That was the credentials, and I told you when I uploaded that video that it would be removed within 48 hours because I didn't want my face being on the fucking internet, even though they were like 15-plus-year-old photos. And I don't look like that no more. So I removed that video. It's not up. But I also told you I was going to do a part 2 in that series, and there's going to be a part 3. Part 2 was going to be pattern recognition. Well, since I'm talking about the fishing and my father, when I was catching fish like that, my father really wanted to know how to do fish like that. And I was like, good. Because I want you to be able to I want you to have photos like that. And not only that, I want you to be able to go get photos like that anytime you want. You can go catch fish like that, right? I had the ability to teach him that, and I had the desire to teach him that. And there was nothing that bothered him more than that. He wanted that. But he couldn't handle me being the one. He needed it to be his version of my way for him to participate. Once he realized that I had desire for him to win. Which is that's what I mean, boil it in a nutshell for everything. Everybody I know, I have desire for you to win. And you basically like can't come correct. You've like kind of treated me like shit. You know, there's one tard in Verona, and he's the only tard I know that lives in Verona. So if he catches this video, he's gonna know, you know exactly who I'm talking about. The last time I was in your place, I promised myself I would never step foot in your place again. And I was talking about don't trust Russia. And I was kind of like ridiculed a little bit for that. We're talking 2015. The day Trump won the election, I got a text from this dude that basically read, Russia, 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 Russia. We got to scream from the roofs about Russia. And I facepalmed, and I was like, man, that cements it. I had already promised myself I was never going to step foot in his home again, and I haven't. It's been 7 years now. Like, if he wants to do a walk and talk, I've gone canoeing with him once or twice, but that's probably been about 4 or 5 years now, about 5 years. Never step foot in there again, man, unless you want to, like, step your game up and come correct. Another dude that we burned the bridge last year because I called him Karen because he refused to take his face diaper off in a store when the store manager said we're celebrating the end of the mask mandate, so take your mask off. And he was like, no, I can't take my mask off. So I went hard on him, and I was like, dude, they totally thought you were a Karen, man. And he's like, how about you call me back when you're ready to stop calling me Karen? And the dude won't speak with me no more. Basically, act like he's like trying to cover up the fact that he looked like Karen. He's trying to cover that up by acting like a bitch. And that's cool, man. That's cool. You can, look like a bitch if you want to. I can't stand next to men like that. But anyways, the point of that story is about 6 or 9 months prior to that, I was telling him about like how one of my greatest disappointments in life is my inability to seem to be able to help other people. Like they just won't let it happen. And so I was talking to him about that, and he said something that kind of stuck with me. I think he might have been right. His answer was, Eric, you're too nice. I think he might have been right. And so I've gone a little bit harder on people in the little over a year that he said that. It was a little over a year ago that he said that to me. Eric, you're too nice. And remember, the topic of discussion is why, I got the brain power to be able to help people. But just my desire to help people pisses off the people that I want to help. Like, they hate me for it, and then they fight against it, which just sets themselves back. And remember, we can open up Merriam-Webster's dictionary. The definition of the verb retard is to set back. So could you imagine how those fucking people look? From where this 6'2" stands? That's right, they look fucking retarded. Because the past tense, what's past tense of retard? Retarded. If they fighting tooth and nail to set themselves back, well, from this 6'2", from my eyes, man, they look fucking retarded. And that's just about every single person that I know. I mean, I don't know anybody that can just remain neutral, man. Just remain neutral. Don't fight to set yourself back. Anyways, I hate doing videos. That's why I rarely do them. I'm still going to do that Teaching Men to Fish, part 2. It's going to be the pattern recognition. This pattern recognition is everything in life. And if you got game and you're going to win at fishing, you do not ever start out with both men in the boat throwing the same bait. And the reason why I bring that up is look at the fucking weak-minded retards that wanted every single person to submit to the needle. I haven't worked a fucking day in over a year due to all the fucking tards and their fucking vaccine mandates and all that shit. That was the point of that video. And know that I wanted to do that video for 5 or 6 years. I used to speak at length about how anti-vax I was, right? A lot of people are like, no, I'm not anti-vax. I'm only anti-this vax. No, I'm fucking anti-vax because I don't trust any utards. Until utards can come correct and, like, have me trust you. And the thing, part of this is if you can't trust me, then why the fuck would I trust you? Because if you break that down, you can't, it's not wise to trust people that can't trust you. I guess all is lost on that. But, again, you thought Groundhog's Day was a great movie and a fantasy because you wish you were smart enough to be able to fuck with people the way Bill Murray fucked with people in that movie. But look at how fucking miserable that guy ended up. Look at how fucking miserable he was. Now know that even at 14, 15 years old, I could never sit through that whole movie. 20, 30 minutes and I was like, I'd have to leave the room. Not only was the movie a horror movie, like worse than fucking Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy Krueger, Jason, Texas Chainsaw, any of that. Way worse movie. Just horrific. Because I was living it already. Years. In 1994. 1993, 94, I was years in. Okay? So to tie this together for you, 2006, gold's like $420 an ounce. I'm talking about how gold still grows on trees because motherfuckers lining up to pay over $400 an ounce for the work I was doing, right? You know what I'm talking, the people that know me, you know what I'm talking about. And I was like, gold still grows on trees, man. These are still the good old days. I'm quoting myself from 2006, okay, 15 years ago. So what is gold at right now? Gold's at 2,000. And people are lining up to buy it because they know it's only going up. Groundhog's Day. Groundhog's Day. Fucking horror movie. Hope this finds you well. I'll try to get to the pattern recognition video. And there's like, I could do 3-4 more videos just on the fishing. Teaching men to fish. And you know what? It's not even going to be about fishing. It's going to be about life. Life talks. But, I probably have to do a video just about the math team shit too, because I'm going to have to break it down. When I tell you the story of the math team, you're going to totally think you understand my point, but I urge you to watch it right to the very end because I will show you my lens on it, and you're going to be like, that's the exact opposite point to what I thought he was trying to make. Kids on the math team were pissed off at me because I was poor white trash. I felt bad for them because they couldn't do what I could do. That's it. Totally different than what you thought. I felt bad for the rich kids that hated my guts because I was poor white trash. I felt bad for them because they couldn't do. Not only could they not do, they wouldn't even allow me to teach them how to do what I was doing. I would have been willing to teach. I wanted them to win. They wanted to win at math. I didn't even like math. They didn't want me on the math team. I didn't want to be on the math team. I was like, man, well, let me just show these guys how to win so I don't need to be on the math team. They couldn't have that. So where did that leave them? All right, hope this finds you well. Good day.